Told you we always been ready. I don't need people that's petty, that weigh on me heavy while I'm being steady. I need a record with Felly. We get it bouncing like Betty's, I feel like I'm Nelly. Don't bring the beef like a deli, it's leave on a levy. No sleeping on me like I'm Freddy. Chris Breeze, how I do, hit him with the moves. Left hand step back, ballin' like I'm Coos. All faith, God's plan, you just gotta choose. Got slaps, nothing left to prove. Y'all gotta leave me alone. Lately I've been in my zone. Told them no cap like I fitted, but lately the flows have been straight off the dome. I feel like I'm MVP, like my name Patty Mahomes. If it ain't about money, don't hit on my phone, cause lately I've been in my zone.
Hello, welcome to the Cowboy Show, hosted by Ben Carey and Nick Gronerad, combining expert human opinions with cutting-edge simulation models to help you arrive at the best picks each week. Inside Edge Community. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to today's stream. We've got college basketball, as always, coming at you. We've got some pretty cool new changes on the Twitch stream, as I think a lot of you have noticed. So first and foremost, we have new sub badges. So everybody who is subscribed to the channel, you've got different colored sub badges next to your names based on how long you have been subscribed. So I see Ryan has the 1 month sub badge. That is the nice little Capwise blue. I see Pick 6 has the 2 month sub badge. That is the yellow. The Capwise account has the 1 year badge, which is a pretty cool red. Let's see what my personal account is at. I need to change it so that I have my actual sub badge there. But pretty cool. We also have some new emotes available to the subscribers. We have the old lock emote is still there, but we also have a new kind of updated lock emote. Plus we have a tail emote and a fade emote. So if you guys are going to tail or fade any picks that we have, or just tail or fade any general comments in the chat, you have emotes to express yourselves. What is up, Dilberto? And
Nick, did you actually get a fade?
No, I mean it's just like one length on the side. I did it myself, and
I thought you were gonna see my guy.
I probably still will.
Yeah.
It was getting too long, and I needed to fix it. But yeah, I'm not quite coordinated enough to give myself a fade, especially in the back. And Patriots cheated. Thank you for the tier 1 subscription. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Fade God Nick. Yeah, that's me. You know me.
Throw up the emote.
Yeah, bringing a whole new meeting to Fade God.
Yeah.
Just gotta spam it in Trent's chat later.
Right.
And then God.
Yeah. They're gonna be like, what is that a fade?
Yeah, there were we like
the light bulbs are going.
I put it in their chat right at the end of the stream yesterday, and they were like, "Is that a beard?" It's like, no, it's a fade.
That's funny.
But yeah, we're still working on hopefully bringing out some more emotes in the future. We have some more slots. If anybody has ideas for emotes, let us know.
Yeah,
that's kind of the hard part, is figuring out exactly what to make.
Mm-hmm.
All of that out of the way, let's get into the actual college basketball content for today. So for anybody who is new to the stream, here is how it works. We have 5 categories, which you can see on the bottom left-hand side of the screen. For the first 4 categories, we have picked out a game that fits into that category. These are 4 games that are interesting for 4 different reasons. These are not necessarily our top picks of the day, more so talking about these just to spark some discussion. And the last category is our best bets. This is where our money actually is. And yeah, Ty, the UCLA over was a sweat. I literally turned the game off because I thought it was chalked. And then Ben was like, Nick, your UCLA over might hit. I was like, huh? Are you trolling me? And then I looked, and there it was.
Yeah, every 20 seconds there was basically a bucket. The score just kept climbing. I'm like, Nick, I think this is going to hit.
Yeah. And as part of everything that we're doing, there will be polls up in the chat as well. So be sure to vote on those. My lean will go up, Ben's lean will go up, and chat, whatever you guys vote on in the polls, your leans will go up as well. And without further ado, let's get started with category number 1.
Public intoxication.
Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype.
So category number 1, public intoxication. There weren't all that many good public games today or good like court streaker games. So finding a game for this category that was kind of interesting was a little rough. That being said, we have the game between Missouri and South Carolina. South Carolina, 7-point favorites at home. And they are picking up, I believe, around 85% of the bets on Action Network. Let me go double check and make sure that that's still an accurate number. But the people do not like Missouri here. It's at 91% of the vote. Or not the vote, of the bets on South Carolina. And I think kind of with good reason. This Missouri team is not very good. I mean, they've been playing a little bit better recently, but they're definitely among the worst power conference teams in the entire country. But Ben, what are your thoughts on this game? Are you with the public or are you fading the public?
Great question. So, 5-game losing streak. Last win was against Mississippi. They've been pretty bad on the road all season. I have to lean with the public here. I do. I mean, I just don't see Missouri coming into this game with much effort other than what they've shown the previous few games, and I just have to lean with South Carolina. It's not a confident lean, but the way they're shooting the ball, Missouri, I just don't see them on the road having a good offensive efficiency type of performance. I mean, they've been very dreadful, not only from 3 from the field, and their defense has struggled. Sometimes, with teams, you can lean on one thing or the other. Maybe the defense has been stepping up, the offense has been stepping up, but the last 5 games, I haven't seen either of that from Missouri, so I have to lean with South Carolina.
Yeah, this is yeah, Ben, can you lower the gain on your mic?
Yes. Okay. Test.
A little bit more.
Test.
Yeah, I mean it sounds good when you're talking kind of a little softer.
Okay.
I
I said Gamecocks.
Gamecocks. Any Gamecocks
Mic
in the
check.
chat?
Yeah, let me know how that sounds.
I think that's a lot better.
Okay.
So as hard as this is to say, I'm gonna take Missouri here. It feels gross. Like, it feels absolutely disgusting. But the model has Missouri barely covering, so I kind of just have to take it. This South Carolina team is very hit or miss. I watched the entirety of their game against LSU about a week and a half ago. That was the game that they won, but they really had no business winning it. They just had one dude who averages like 10 points a game, put up 30 points, which is not really something that they can count on. I think that South Carolina wins this game. I don't think that South Carolina is really the type of team to put a team away. I think that this is going to be a competitive, close game. I think it's going to come down. I think the cover is going to come down to free throws at the end. And I think that Missouri keeps it close enough. I'll take Missouri losing by only 5, we'll say. But again, a disgusting game.
This is a game I'm not going to have any action on personally.
No, this is a game that there's no reason to have any action on.
Yeah.
Mr. White, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription. Appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy the new sub badge and the new emotes. So let's see what the chat has to say here. So chat is taking South Carolina here. 11 votes on South Carolina. Now 12 votes on South Carolina -7. 5 votes on Missouri +7. So it is South Carolina for Ben, South Carolina for the chat, and Missouri +7 for me.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, I feel gross. I do. But it is what it is.
Both these teams are just kind of like, when I watch them, I'm just like, eh.
And there's a new sub badge in the chat. Larry's got the purple drip.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, the purple's nice. I love that one. We haven't seen the gray one yet. For 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
Or no, for 3 to 6. But the gray I think is my favorite.
Had to turn the stream off when my girl walked in because of the new fade.
So Tom says, I'd rather watch IUPUI in Oakland. I mean, I have some thoughts on this game. It's not in the categories that we're running through, but I have some thoughts on that game. So let's go ahead now and move along to category number 2.
Mid-major spotlight.
Millions on the table, that's major. I turn dirt into diamonds, that's major.
So category number 2, mid-major spotlight, where we take a look at some mid-major teams that you should become familiar with. Try and catch them at least once before March Madness starts. And I think Ben is excited today for the mid-majors that we're going to talk about because it's from the Big Sky, finally. I think that we have never featured the Big Sky in this category up until this point. We have the top 2 teams in the Big Sky. Winner of this game will move to first place in the conference standings. They still have a couple of games left, so it's not for the conference crown. But it is the top 2 teams. It is the Southern Utah Thunderbirds going on the road visiting the Montana State Bobcats. Southern Utah 12-5 in conference. Montana State 13-4 in conference. So Montana State is the top dog, or the top cat, as of right now. Montana State at home, 3.5-point favorites, total set at 147. So Ben, as a big Sky guy, what do you like here?
Well, this is going to be a fun game. It is. And Montana State is a pretty good team. And they have a few guys that I think Bello, their power forward, potentially could play in the NBA. I mean, he's so dominant in the paint. Raekwon Battle, another guy to watch for Montana State. But Southern Utah, as of late, has been playing pretty well. They had a big win against Montana. They're starting to kind of pick it up. They had a bad loss to Montana State at home, but I don't know if you can call that the bad loss in that last matchup. But this is a little bit of like the revenge game a little bit, but it's on the road, right? And I think Montana State covers this, Nick. I think they get the job done. I have more faith in them at home, and I think that's the big thing with this one. Is of course, you know, they're going to get the points appropriately for being the home team, but I would feel more comfortable laying whatever the home court advantage would be for Southern Utah if they were at home. So for me, it's pretty simple. I'm not going to overthink this one, and I think Montana State bounces back after it was a Montana loss, which it's a rivalry game, but that was a weird game. They were 1 for 8 from 3. Just a weird stat line, right? Like if you look at their body of work throughout the year, just kind of an outlier, right? 1 3 made, only 8 attempts, and and I couldn't really tell you why that was. It wasn't necessarily that they were playing the best defense, but they just tried to get the ball in the paint. Regardless of that, I like Montana State to cover here.
Yeah, I'm going to disagree with you again on this one. I'm taking Southern Utah here. So Southern Utah has been one of my favorite teams in this conference all year. In fact, probably at this point, my favorite team, despite what they did to me against Northern Colorado. I think that this is a team that they just have the scoring quality and depth that they keep games close. This is not a team that's going to get blown out. Their losses in conference, I mean, they lost by 10 to Northern Colorado, by 8 to Weber State, by 5 to Northern Colorado, by 11 to Montana, and by 5 to the same Missouri State team. What's interesting is actually only 2 of those were on the road. And I think in a lot of these games, it just comes down to them being a little bit lackluster from 3. I think having seen this Montana State team before, knowing how they want to defend on the perimeter, I think it opens up the opportunity for Southern Utah to perform a little bit better from 3. They shot less than 30% in that first game against Montana State, where they lost by 5. And I'm going to take the Thunderbirds here.
You think they win?
I wouldn't be surprised if they win.
I don't know. I think for you, I think Bello's got to get in foul trouble, which he has a few times. But if he doesn't get in foul trouble, I don't know who's stopping him in, like, down low.
Yeah, it is very much an inside versus outside type of deal. I mean, Bello's going to feast inside, and Southern Utah has just so many guys who, whether it's shooting from the perimeter or whether it's driving to the bucket, are guys who can put the ball in the basket.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And actually, let's see. What happened with Bello the first time that they played?
I think he played the entirety of the game.
Yeah, he
wasn't in foul trouble.
Yeah, not in foul trouble. 12 points, 7 boards. So not like a super dominant performance, but also not like in foul trouble.
Yeah, which is important because he definitely, like, when he's in, teams will double him, and then it opens up the floor. I'm spacing his name. Xavier Bishop, 5'8" guard. He's really fun to watch. I know you've seen him a few times. Mm-hmm. He can get hot from 3. So yeah, I mean, look, it's a conference game. It's going to be tight throughout, but I just don't see Montana State losing 2 straight.
Yeah, and Montana State doesn't have to lose this. I mean,
I don't see them not covering 2 straight.
A 3-point win. Yeah, I mean, that's a dicey proposition to be handicapping on, but
we'll see.
We'll see.
This is Big Sky. This is my territory. So
yeah. So chat poll results are in, and you guys like the over. So the top 2 vote getting options were the over. 53% of the vote on Montana State in the over, 27% on Southern Utah and the over. So with 80% of the vote, it is the over for chat in this game.
Wouldn't you have to lean over if you like Southern Utah?
I think so.
Just because they have to shoot better than they did in that first matchup, and Montana State's going to get theirs in the paint here and there, but I think if Southern Utah can get going offensively, it could definitely go over 147.
Yeah, and I think if Southern Utah gets hot, it's going to be hard for Montana State to keep up.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, when Southern Utah's hot, they're like hot.
Yeah.
They're incendiary.
Like the Northern Colorado game, they lost, but they had 95.
Yeah.
That game was crazy.
That was one of the dumbest games I've watched.
Yeah, didn't you have we had the
I had Southern Utah. They were up 17 with 5.5 minutes left, and they lost.
That game was so crazy. It was up and down in that first half, and then Southern Utah's up 12 with 2.5 minutes left.
Yeah, I'm gonna get PTSD thinking about it. That was at the
Moving
literal
on.
same exact moment in time as Cleveland State blowing a 17-point halftime lead against Purdue Fort Wayne as well.
Oh man.
Yep. Josh, are we talking about the Michigan State-Michigan game? It's not on the agenda, but we definitely will have some time for Q&A after the regular part of the stream, and we can touch on that game there. So let's now go ahead and move on to category number 3.
Payback game.
Back to back like I'm Jordan 96, 97. Whoa.
Robbed you in your city and you told. Tory from the 6, you hating on him, Lord knows.
I'm out here looking for revenge.
So category number 3 is the payback game, or the revenge game. And the game that we're looking at today is the game between St. Bonaventure and VCU. So these two teams played earlier in the year. Game was at St. Bonaventure in Western New York. St. Bonaventure won that game by 20. I believe that is the biggest loss of the year. Well, actually, no, it's the second biggest loss of the year for VCU. They lost by 30 to Dayton. But a big loss for a really good VCU team, and honestly, probably a loss that's keeping them on the wrong side of the tournament bubble at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So they have their opportunity now at home in Richmond to grab a revenge win against St. Bonaventure. VCU is hot. They have won 7 straight games. They are sitting in second place in the A10 at 13-3 in the conference. St. Bonaventure, 19-7 overall, 4th place in the A10, 11-4 in the conference. But Ben, do you think that VCU gets their revenge in this one as 4.5-point favorites? Or do you think that St. Bonaventure gets the cover?
So first and foremost, St. Bonaventure is definitely on the bubble as of right now.
Yeah.
VCU, we would agree, is in.
No, I think VCU is on the wrong side at this point. I was actually looking at the bracketology. They're not even in like the next 4 out.
So how is... I don't understand that. Is it because of the...
VCU just doesn't have good non-conference wins.
Do you think that plays a part, the head-to-head? Like, how they kind of think about that?
It's possible.
Yeah, I'm like blindly looking at their body of work, and I would assume that VCU would be in over St. Bonaventure, but maybe I'd have to dive a little deeper. But I knew St. Bonaventure was on the bubble.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this is a huge game for both teams, right?
Yeah, it is.
I mean, this is huge, but will VCU get that revenge? I'm gonna say no, Nick. I'm gonna lean with the Bonnies here.
Yeah,
and
four
it's
and a
not-
half is a lot.
It is a lot, and I think this is gonna be a close game. Will St. Bonaventure win? What do you think?
No, I don't think so.
You think they'll cover though?
This feels like a really close game. It kind of feels like VCU win, St. Bonaventure cover.
Yeah.
At 4.5, it's a tight margin to be making that kind of call. But I think it's going to be a close game. I think that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to hear something interesting?
I do.
So last year, we had this exact same scenario. So these two teams played early in the year last year at St. Bonaventure, and St. Bonaventure won that game 70-54. Compare that to the score this year of St. Bonaventure winning 73-53. Like the same exact game. In the return match at VCU last year, VCU ended up winning that game by 3. And then they played a rubber match in the A10 championship game.
That's right.
And St. Bonaventure won that game to knock VCU out of the tournament. So, I think that's interesting. Just drawing the parallel between last year. Of course, it's a lot of different players. I mean, it is actually a lot of the same players, especially on St. Bonaventure's side. But I think that St. Bonaventure keeps this one close enough that they pull off the cover. I think another thing that's important to note is I think VCU is a pretty bad free throw shooting team.
Let's take a look.
Yeah, they shoot 68.6% from the line.
That's something to watch for down the stretch. When they're at the line and you're like, oh my gosh, make a free throw. We'll be like, hey, we tried to warn you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good game though.
It is. This is going to be an awesome game. I mean, VCU is always one of my favorite teams to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, partially.
Call me crazy, Nick, but if this game is on at the same time as Purdue, Wisconsin, I'm gonna watch this game over that.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a half an hour of this in before switching over.
Full game. Full game.
Full game.
Are they at the same time actually?
This one starts at 6:30 our time. Purdue, Wisconsin starts at 7.
Okay. I would split screen it, guys.
We have plenty of screens. You can watch we can watch 5 games at once.
My fiance is like, "Why do you need 3 screens?" And I was like, "I need 5 more screens."
Yeah, what do you mean I can only have 3 screens?
Yeah.
So chat poll results are in. You guys are very, very split here. So it is actually, if we're talking spread, literally 50-50. Which I think has never happened before. And since this is the revenge spot, we're actually supposed to be talking about just the spread. I kind of accidentally added in the total. I wasn't thinking, but I asked about the total also. I will let you guys, because the over is what won, we'll take the over. User error on my part, throwing that into the poll in the first place. But you guys are completely split on the spread, leaning the over 132.5.
Model has it right around there, huh? Barely under?
Yeah, I think by less than a point. All right, let's go ahead now and move along to category number 4.
Game of the day.
The ball is tipped, and there you are. You're running for your life. You're a shooting star.
So category number 4, game of the day. There was 2 good options for game of the day. There's the Providence-Villanova game that kind of tips off the day. But that's a kind of boring game, in my opinion. Providence doesn't really have anything to play for. I think that their number 1 seed in the Big East tournament has already kind of been solidified. And I think that the Wisconsin-Purdue game is a little bit more interesting. So in this game, Purdue, fresh off being one of many, many, many top 10 teams to be upset on Saturday, is taking a trip to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is 3-point dogs at home. Over under set at 144.5. So Ben, what are your thoughts here?
I have a lot of thoughts on this game, actually. So the first thing, Nick, is I find it so funny. I'm not shocked, but it's always hysterical to me the way the market perceives teams after a loss, especially a team when they're at the top, right? 2 weeks ago, I think people viewed Purdue a little differently than they do now. And after that Michigan State loss, I'm already hearing rumbles of, oh, Purdue's going to be that team who loses in the second round. They're not built for March, this and that. Didn't hear that few weeks ago. And now all the chatter is about Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right? Wisconsin's going to be, I think, a 2 seed, Isn't it interesting how that just changed so quickly?
Yeah, I mean, it's very much all of sports is kind of a "what have you done for me lately" type of deal when it comes to perception.
It really is, and again, I'm not surprised. I've been doing this a while. I understand. We see this in the NFL to a higher extent, right? Just after a loss, the way Monday morning overreactions, right? But we're seeing it a lot here. And the line, though, I feel like isn't as indicative of how the market feels. When I say the market, the public, the market itself has Wisconsin at +3, which I think is fair. But I have to go with Purdue here, Nick. I know it's the Big Ten on the road, but I still think Purdue's the better team. And I think they're doing a whiteout tonight. People are probably going to bet on Wisconsin because of that, because that needs to be one of your top reasons
it's actually not senior night.
No, it's not senior night, but I've seen a lot of ads for it or whatever. So, yeah, I'm going Purdue. I am going to go Purdue. I think they win this game. It's probably going to be close throughout, but I think Purdue wins by 6 or 7.
Yeah, I think actually disagree with you again here. As much as it pains me, I like the Badgers in this game.
Ugh.
So we saw earlier this year, Wisconsin knocked off Purdue at Purdue. So, I mean, maybe it's proof of concept that Wisconsin can beat them. Maybe it's proof of concept that or maybe it's like a revenge spot, right? I think that neither of those things are really the way to look at it. I think that the issue that Wisconsin potentially has is just like keeping up inside with Edey and with Williams, which is a problem that pretty much every team in the country has. But they did it last game. The last time that these two teams played, they got out rebounded, but it wasn't drastically out rebounded. And I think that kind of combined with the fact that Wisconsin is playing extremely good basketball right now. They've won how many in a row? 4 in a row, including 3 road games. I like Wisconsin to at least cover this game.
This is only their second back-to-back road game too all season. Kind of interesting.
Yeah, I hate betting against Purdue. But
yeah, I'm not betting this game, to be clear.
Yeah, Purdue struggled a little bit on the road. I mean, so they've lost at Michigan State, at Michigan, at Indiana, at Rutgers in conference play already. And none of those teams are better than or even remotely close to as good as this Wisconsin team. Mm-hmm. I think it's a real issue for Purdue.
And they lost by 5 last game.
Yeah, and also
Wisconsin.
I was talking to my stepdad about this pretty recently. My stepdad, for anybody who doesn't know, is a Purdue alum, and his dad played at Purdue and was an assistant coach at Purdue back in like the 60s. So they're very, very in tune still with the Purdue program. And their big concern for Purdue is just the fact that they're so good at home and can kind of struggle on the road. So I'm going to trust them here and take Wisconsin at home.
What else?
Tom says Indiana is better than Wisconsin. That sounds like something a Hoosier would say.
I mean, Indiana's trending, but so is Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and we know that Tom is a Hoosiers fan.
Mm-hmm.
Next, what's he going to say next? Indiana is better than the Pacers. You never know.
I mean, they did just lose to the Magic.
Yeah.
Let's overreact.
Let's overreact. Yeah, can a college team beat an NBA team?
It's more likely to happen in college basketball than it would be college football, but we're going to leave that there.
Mm-hmm.
Would Iowa women's team beat the men's team?
Yes.
Who's guarding Caitlin Clark right now? Hey, I'm not even joking. She's shooting better than almost anyone in men's basketball, and that's not even an argument.
She's crazy.
And if anyone wants to say like, oh well, women's basketball, they're not playing defense. I'm pretty sure 35 feet is still 35 feet. She is stroking. So, anyways, maybe we have to get a women's basketball segment going on here, Nick.
Maybe, but yeah, we got on the Renee Bros.
Yeah, for real.
Talk about women's ball.
And real quick, Nick, women's bracket building or whatever, when you're filling out your bracket, it's so chalk.
Oh, yeah.
It's insane. I need to look more into that from a betting perspective, but I'm sure a lot of it's baked in already.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Not like we're going to be like, oh, I'm outsmarting the books. They don't know this. Yeah. So, Pacers.
Mm-hmm. So see people saying talk about Kansas. We can talk about Kansas once we finish up top plays of the day. In just like a little Q&A section. Although speaking of top plays of the day. Oh, actually first I need to look at the poll for this game. It is Purdue by a mile. Literally only one vote on Wisconsin.
Well, I made a compelling case.
16-1.
Let's go, chat.
I think that is the heaviest vote we have ever seen. So for anybody who buys into the whole fade the public thing, Wisconsin's the play here.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Brad Davison.
Quite the discrepancy. Yeah, I was going to say
feels like he's been there for 10 years.
Yeah,
but
I was going to make a joke
5.
if it was senior night and say like, "Oh, this is Brad Davison's 5th senior night."
Yeah,
in his Wisconsin career.
I remember like I was looking at the lineups before the season started, and I was like, "Wait, he still has eligibility left."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben's gonna record this, and then they're gonna win by 30, and then post it to TikTok. Exactly.
Nah, I only do that for my best bets. Wisconsin's a solid play.
Yeah, maybe Fun Times is the one person who bet on Wisconsin.
Yeah. Fun times.
So let's go ahead and hop into top plays of the day. So I have mine prepared. Ben has his prepared. But chat, in order to make a poll for you guys, I need to know what you are on today. So if you have a spread pick as your top play for today, type out the team that you're on and the number that the spread is at. If you're on a total, type out both teams and the number that the total is at, or if you're on a money line, give me the team that you're on and the price of the money line. I'm going to play a video clip to introduce the category. Then we're going to take 5 options from the chat and throw them into the poll for you guys to vote on.
Big Brain Plays.
Come on. Think. Brain blast!
All right. So looking through the chat, I see Lucky Strikes with the meme, Pitt moneyline plus 850. I'd be very happy if that happened. I don't think it's going to happen.
And then Duke spread. A few after that.
Yep. Let's see. Is there anything that's popping up twice? Yeah, I see Kansas.
Arizona's popped up
minus
twice.
5.5. Arizona minus 4.5. Not seeing anything else twice. We will throw in... I see Pick 6 was the first person to get their play in, which is San Jose State plus 5 at Air Force. I mean, that's just a disgusting game.
That could have been the D-Gen game of the day.
Yeah, but that category is retired.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Until next year.
It would have been great today.
Thanks a lot, IUPUI in Green Bay.
Yeah, Redhead is very adamant about Kent State. That twice.
Patrick's back about the Fort Wayne game.
Oh.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he needs to be gifted a sub. Actually, I can go do that right now.
Oh, yeah. I got logged out, by the way. I think it's because you logged in, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually also got logged out. Gift a sub.
It's funny, Patrick, I actually live bet Detroit Mercy in that game, and I covered.
How do I...
So that was cool.
Gift a sub?
I think if you go to gift a sub, and then you can pick the specific
I'm
person.
On it and it's not working. I'll figure that out in a second.
Yeah, we got you.
But yeah.
Kent State.
I still think you're trolling.
Kent State.
Yeah, I have Kent State in the poll.
Good.
And let's also go with here. There's a play that I like, which is Florida plus 1.
Oh, we got all the blue bloods in there.
Uh-huh.
And then San Jose State.
and San Jose. Yeah, I mean the blue bloods and the blue teams, right?
Yeah. Oh, man.
So, Ben, what is your top play going to be today?
So I am split on 2.
And
one of them.
Yeah, and hold on. Ryan, thank you for gifting a sub to Ollie. Appreciate that very much.
Thanks, man. So one of them we've discussed, model supported. the other one in the Horizon, not model supported. Which one do you want?
Say that again.
So one of them we discussed already that the model supports.
Okay.
And then the other one, the model, it's not too far off. It's like 2 points off, maybe more. But the model doesn't support it, and it's in I think the Horizon League game.
Okay, you can give us the Horizon League non-supported, because I know that was your actual favorite.
Okay, cool. And that one may be a little off on the model side because the team did play IUPUI. But the play of the day is Detroit Mercy. Now I gotta see if it's at -10 still or if it's jumped up to -10.5. But this is the first round of the Horizon, and Detroit Mercy coming off a loss against IPF Dub. Is that even how they say it? Whatever they say out there in Indiana. That team's playing hot right now. Like they're actually hot at the right time. So I don't put too much weight and stock into that loss. And I think Detroit Mercy coming into this game with Antoine Davis, hands down the best player in the conference. I think they have a big offensive performance, and Green Bay, bottom of the barrel in college basketball. I just don't see them keeping up with the scoring, and I think Detroit Mercy can win this by 15 plus. So that's going to be my best bet of the day.
Yeah, I actually like this quite a bit. This Detroit Mercy bet that you have, despite the model not liking it.
Yeah, kind of sneaky, right? It's like, I don't know. I find it sneaky. I'm surprised it's not closer to 11, but maybe it moves that way because it opened up at 9. But we'll see. And Green Bay, again, I think they won by 20 against IUPUI, but it's IUPUI. So,
yeah, it's IUPUI.
It's IUPUI.
Here, and I'm on unabated. I'm gonna see what.
Yeah, see.
You can still get a 9.5 -120 on DraftKings. There's a 10 on Caesars. I think it's okay to put this up as 10.
Yeah, let's do 10
not
-110. I'm fine with that.
So for me, I'm also going to the Horizon League, and also Redhead. Thank you for the Tier 1 subscription. Appreciate that.
Thank you. Ooh, Delberto's on it too.
That's always nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, Green Bay did beat Detroit by 7 a couple weeks ago. I think that was at Green Bay. And Detroit has been a really, really good home team this year.
I'm going to guess Antoine Davis had a bad game in that performance. A bad performance in that game, sorry.
Yeah, I can actually pull it up.
Would be my guess.
Yeah, Green Bay shot 42% from 3. Antoine Davis was 11 for 26. 2 of 13 from 3 in that game.
Hey, we know that comes with the territory with him, right?
Yeah, he's a volume scorer.
His dad's the coach. Is his uncle's the assistant?
He has a very long leash.
Yeah.
He's not going to be that bad, and Green Bay won't shoot 43% from 3. This is a team that shoots like 28% from 3 on the year.
Green Bay and IPY meet in the finals.
Imagine.
Oh, God. I mean, Nick, if that happens, I think we have to unretire the D-Gen game.
Oh, for sure.
Or maybe that's just game of the day. I mean...
Yeah, oh, we have a hype train, Ben, for the first time in the history of the channel.
Ooh, what does that entail?
It's just like enough subscriptions and whatnot comes in a certain period of time when it starts up the hype train. I'm honestly not entirely sure. There's like benefits that can go out to us and to the people in the community. There's like certain unique emotes. I'm honestly not entirely sure how it works.
Interesting.
I see it happen on other streams all the time, like bigger streams. But
and A-Red, thanks for the gifted subs
for the
to
5 gifted.
Yeah, nice.
Absolute legend. Appreciate that so much.
Nick, real quick, I think the hype train is a foreshadow to Purdue winning big tonight.
Yeah, the yeah. Or is it Purdue winning big, or is it Purdue Indianapolis winning big? Probably certainly not the latter.
I'll let you know.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And draggeth thy nuts. Thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate that.
All right, Nick. Best bet. What do we got?
Okay. So my best bet is I need to figure out exactly what I want to make it. I'm going to be absolutely hammering things related to Oakland in this IUPUI game. I need to figure out exactly which part of the hammer is the best one. Things that I like the spread, minus 23 for Oakland. I need to think a little bit more, though. So IUPUI has literally 5 players.
Oh, it's down to 5 now?
Yeah, one of their players got hurt in the last game. So what does that mean? That means a lot of things. That means if somebody fouls out, they have 4 players on the court.
Which has happened. I mean, not this season, but we've seen that, and it's not good.
Yeah, we saw it with, who was it, with Alabama and somebody a couple years ago in the SEC.
Yeah.
That there was like a fight and players got ejected and they played 5-on-3 for a few minutes because they literally didn't have more players. And Dilberto, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate that. Can't wait to have you on tomorrow. It's going to be awesome.
Oh, I'm pumped for that.
For anybody who didn't know, Dilberto is going to be on the stream with me tomorrow for the first time. I'm so excited for that. And Colin Sexton went crazy with 3 points.
That was fucking crazy. I remember seeing the highlights and I was, what the fuck is happening? But
yeah,
there is no Colin Sexton on the IUPUI Jacks.
No. So what could happen is it's going to do a couple things. So it's going to make it so that if Oakland tries to drive to the basket or play physical inside, IUPUI is just not going to be able to play a physical kind of defense. So it's easy points in the paint or it's fouls. Also, for reference, the last time that these 2 teams played this year, IUPUI committed 26 fouls, which is enough to foul out their entire team today.
And Nick, quick point I want to make. I think even at the start of the game, you're going to see that, right?
Yeah.
Just, they're going to go into the game knowing, hey, guys, like, pick and choose, but, like the ticky-tack stuff, like, guys driving, we just can't afford it. Risk-reward at this point.
So I think also, like, exactly what Tom said. So IUPUI is going to slow the tempo of this game down as much as they humanly can. Just to limit the number of possessions, to limit the energy that they have to expend, and just to limit the number of opportunities there are for them to commit fouls. So I actually think that no, Tom, they literally have nobody on the bench. I think it's literally 5 players dressed. They decided not to add, unless this has changed prior to this game, they decided not to add any of the walk-ons. Or like any of the tryouts to the active roster. So the play that I like, kind of considering the fact that IUPUI might have foul issues, it's going to be also, they're not going to play aggressive on offense. Any kind of offensive fouls are a big detriment. I like the IUPUI team total under.
What's that at?
I think it's at 50.5.
So low.
And is that just the grossest bet you've ever heard?
It's up there.
It's up there.
It is up there. So, okay, I want to ask you a question. So I'm not trying to change your mind.
Yeah.
What were the what's your close second? Is it a Oakland cover would be number 2?
I think the Oakland cover would be number 2. And I think also I'm going to split between these things. I'm going to have action on the Oakland cover. I'm going to have action on the IUPUI team total under. And probably also action a little bit less on the Oakland team total over.
Yeah. And someone made a comment that the refs aren't going to call fouls. I don't think IUPUI is getting the benefit of the doubt right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, it's right. Like,
Yeah.
if it's a foul, it's a foul. It's a conference tournament game. Like, I don't think the refs are gonna give any favors to anyone.
No, I don't think so either. So what we saw in IUPUI's last game, so their one player who got hurt, Bakari Lestrap, got injured 3 minutes into that game. And they literally didn't play anybody else. This is again how we know that there's nobody on the bench. Like, the 4 starters other than him played 40 minutes, and the one reserve played 37 minutes. Nobody else played a second in that game. They had multiple guys pick up 4 fouls. So the refs are calling the fouls, and IUPUI only scored 41 points in that game. I think this really is evidence of the fact that the tempo was going to be as low as it can possibly get. I don't think that Oakland is gonna try and do anything crazy. I think that they know the situation. They're not gonna be running up the score on this team. There's kind of just no reason to. That's why the IUPUI team total under is my favorite player.
And Tommy, I wouldn't say it's weird because this information was known before the line was made. And I think at that number, minus 23, it's not going to go much higher just from the standpoint of the way IUPUI is expected to play, just limiting possessions for both teams. So I that would be my guess there.
Yeah, and let me also go make sure that I have a correct number on this team total.
Yeah. Let's see if I can find you something better.
Yeah, I'm showing 50 on PointsBet.
Not many books are offering a line there. 50.
DraftKings
For
is
IUPUI,
49.5.
It's fine.
This number is very slightly falling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to check FanDuel.
Tempo does dictate that line, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think IUPUI is going to run clock, and just intentionally running clock also leads to bad shot selection.
Mm-hmm. At the same time, though, right, if Oakland's up, let's say 15 second half, like IUPUI can't just continue to play slow. At some point, they have to pick it up, unless they're just waving the white towel and just giving up.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of do think it's going to be a lot of
they're going to give up.
a lot of towel waving.
Yeah.
Okay, this is still at 50.5 on FanDuel. So I'm going to give myself that extra half a point.
It's what?
50.5 on FanDuel.
Okay.
So the chat, as their favorite play of the day, likes Arizona. I just said 4.5. I forgot to add in the minus, but they're 4.5 point favorites at USC. So there's that. What are leans on Richmond and Dayton? That's going to be a really good game too. It's hard to bet against Richmond at home on what I think is their senior night on a senior-laden team, and they play really well at home. That being said, I think that Dayton right now might be the best team in the A10.
Mm-hmm.
So
I can get down with that.
I think I would have to lean Dayton, but not something I'm really confident in.
Mm-hmm. Hungry spiders bite, though, right, Nick? That's what they say.
I think. Is that what they say?
Yeah, I think I read that
like
in
not how spiders hunt.
The Itsy Bitsy Spider. Yeah. The San Jose State wagon.
Yeah, whoever suggested San Jose State was the only person to vote for them.
It's not that I'm indifferent about them. I don't want to deal with Air Force at all. Classic line from Charlotte's Web. Absolutely. Horny spiders bite. I think that's true, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's true. Ah, that explains it.
OddsShark has IUPUI covering. Does OddsShark know that there's literally nobody to come in off the bench?
I don't think so, to be honest.
I don't think so either.
I think they run the model, and then it's just like, well.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, so our model has IUPUI covering, but
Exactly.
it's just
but there's
not something that it can take into account.
Exactly. There's no context on what's going on.
Yeah. Michigan State, real quick. We could do some rapid fire on some other games. I have Michigan by... It's within like a half a point on the spread. I have Michigan by 4.6.
Don't be sorry. I'm not on it.
Dilberto, Air Force is my least favorite team in all of college basketball.
Yeah.
I hate Air Force.
Nick will actually probably tail it now.
I will tail your San Jose State play. No questions asked.
Nick, this Michigan State game, though, is, I would say, a bubble burster for Michigan. If they lose, unless they win the Big Ten, I don't think they're going to get in. I really don't.
No, I mean,
So,
I agree.
again.
I think that they were at the bottom of the last four in, or last four buys on Bracketology today on ESPN. We'll see.
Yeah. I guess the scenario would be if they lost this game, they could win the next two. But
Yeah, I mean, they have opportunities for big wins. I don't think that this is a lose and they're out kind of game. I think it's a win and it really boosts the scenario. They're not the scenario. It boosts their chances, but it's not a lose and they're out.
Yeah, even though I don't think they're going to go 2-0 after a loss. But seem crazier. It's March.
It is March. Lucky Strike says, what is the biggest point differential on the model today? I'm not sure.
It's probably Oakland. Even though.
Oh, if we're talking just biggest spread, then yeah, it's Oakland. If we're talking biggest differential between the model spread and the Vegas spread, then I'm not entirely sure. Buffalo or Toledo? That's an interesting game. I kind of lean Toledo in that game. I need to look at it a little bit more. Model likes Toledo. Buffalo's won, I think, 7 straight games, but they haven't played any of the top teams in the MAC in that stretch, and they've really struggled against those top-tier teams. I think that's just kind of where Buffalo falls apart. Their athleticism really dominates some of the worst teams, but against the top teams, they can get a little bit reckless. It is going to be a good game. I would like watching Buffalo if they hadn't fucked me over so many times this year.
Izzo.
Yeah, so actually the biggest model difference might actually be that Toledo game.
Yeah.
I have Toledo winning by several points.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's for Greg Peterson, though.
Mm-hmm. I'm curious, what is G Unit's play or biggest difference? I without a ton of looking, I think it is actually Toledo today. Thoughts on Vanderbilt, Florida? Definitely lean Florida.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'm going to actually bet it, but that was one that made my short list of games I need to look at a little bit more. So Ben, if you've got anything.
I don't think I got everything out that I wanted to share, and I'm excited to watch some games. I actually don't have like a lot of action today, but there's some really good games.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the IUPUI game is going to be where most of my action is.
What time is that at?
6 for us.
Alrighty.
So thank you to everybody for being here. Appreciate all of the generosity shown by everybody today. I mean, that was fantastic. Again, thanks to Dilberto for the gifted. Thanks to Redhead for the gifted. Labarge, Redhead. Mr. White, Patriots. Trying to see if I missed anybody else. Drageth Thy Nuts. Thank you guys all again for the subs, for the gifted subs. You guys are all amazing. Appreciate it so much. We're gonna hop off for the day at this point. Ben, I think you're gonna be live late tonight.
Yep, I'm gonna take a nap and I'm gonna be at it. We're gonna do some line movers. Really good slate tomorrow. I personally think it's a better slate than today. So basically, I'll get on for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We'll talk about a few games that I think the number's going to move overnight. So join me. You can lock in a few, and we'll talk about a few games, but not as deep as we do with this segment and these segments. And then tomorrow, Nick will be on with Dilberto to run through the slate. It's a good one, that's for sure.
Yeah, it is a good one. Hoodie Dukes. What is Dukes in your name referencing? I'm always curious.
JMU.
Yeah, I mean, it's either completely unrelated to anything, or it's JMU, or it's Duquesne, or it's Duke University. But then that's kind of weird. But yeah, I think it is time to hop off. You can join the Discord. Be happy to talk about stuff there throughout the day. Thank you again, everyone, for being here. Good luck with the bets today, and we'll see you tonight with Ben, and then tomorrow with Dilberto and I.
See you guys
Later.